How to Deck. Hi everybody, this is CVGS, I'm the captain here, and welcome to How to Deck. Just gonna try something a little bit different with the way that we actually do our product review. So as you can see, I got the two cameras here, and there's the hand right there. So we're gonna take a look at the Mirei deck, and we're just gonna look inside and probably just explore a little bit more about what you can do with the deck with the cards that's currently available right now. So let's begin. How to Deck. So these are the contents of the deck itself, with Bhavsagara as the ace, as well as the first guide, which comes with the playmat that comes with its own like training manga at the back over here. Yeah, because this is something that we want to read and probably get some nightmares out of it, because we've seen a few things in there. And the Bhavsagara deck as well, just to showcase to you what is mostly in here. The trigger lineup is actually quite interesting because it differs from the UU trial deck, in which case this is actually the secondary set of triggers that you can actually get from the set in DBT01. And of course, you also get the Obaria over trigger as well in the booster set. And of course, the key cards over here will actually be the Deity Arms orders, as well as Bhavsagara herself. Now we'll go through the key cards itself, which is Bhavsagara, her Deity Arms, as well as the right deck itself. And it starts with the Grade 0, Sealed Blaze Dragon Arhinsa, who is your standard. When this unit is rolled upon, if you went second, draw a card. Then we move up to the Grade 1, Sealed Blaze Dragon Namor, whose skill is when placed on the Vanguard circle by riding Sealed Blaze Dragon Arhinsa, which is why I pointed out that the first Vanguard's name is Arhinsa, so you guys would know. By paying Sword Blast 1, search your deck for up to one Sealed Blaze Sword Prithvi or Sealed Blaze Shield Swayamba. Reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. And its other skill is that when this unit attacks, this unit gets plus 2k until the end of the battle. The next card in the right line is Sealed Blaze Dragon Halebadra. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle by riding from Sealed Blaze Dragon Namor, choose an arms card from your drop and put it in your hand. And his other skill is when this unit attacks, if your Vanguard is armed, this unit gets plus 5k until the end of that battle. We should talk about the arms cards just a little bit because they are the key part of the play for this deck. So the first one is the Sealed Blaze Sword Prithvi. So as an arms card, specifically Right Deity Arms Blade Seal Maiden Bhavsagara, this skill basically states that after being played, the specific Vanguard arms it by putting it next to the Vanguard circle. As you guys can see, I placed it here this way. Now do take note, when they say Right Deity Arms, it's actually put onto the left side over here, and that is basically to the right of Bhavsagara, not your right. So it's the character's right basically. So just take note on that. So when you play the order card, you put it next to the Vanguard circle, as stated here, Right Deity Arms. The left one is also the same, but we'll get to the shield in a little bit. When this unit armed with this card attacks, that unit gets plus 10k until the end of the battle. At the end of the battle, if your opponent's damage zone is 4 or less, you may counterblast 2 and put this card into the drop zone, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and deal 1 damage to it. So this little thing can actually make sure that you actually deal 1 damage to your opponent. So yeah, that should be telling of how you might expect the flow of your damage to go. The other arms card that you can see is that is Sealed Blaze Shield Swayambu. And just the same, except it says left Deity Arm, so it actually goes to Bhavsagara's left. Then you play this card with Counterblast 1 as its cost, and then once per turn, when this unit armed with this card is attacked, that armed card gets plus 10k until the end of that battle. Now let's take a look at the ace herself, the Sealed Blaze Maiden Bhavsagara. So his skill is once per turn, when this unit is armed, soul charge 1, choose a grade 1 or less card for your drop zone, and call it to a Vanguard circle. So this allows you to actually call back a card from the drop zone in order to reinforce to your field, so it doesn't have to come from your hands. And his other skill, once per turn, if this unit is armed with 2 or more cards, by paying Soul Blast 2, retire all of your opponent's front row regards, and this unit gets plus 1 critical until the end of the turn. So that pretty much just covers just what you can expect from the right deck and what you can expect for the plays of it. The idea of the Bhavsagara deck is that you're supposed to be equipping the arms, and not only that, allowing yourself to be able to use the arms cards as the drop fodder, so that you can actually use your right deck, especially with the Grade 2, which allows you to be able to fetch back an arms card from your drop zone. How to Deck. Alright, so I know that the purists out there are going to be very uncomfortable as I play this deck unsleeved, but rest assured, this is just a demonstration in order to be able to showcase to you just what you can perform with the Bhavsagara deck. So you start off with the Grade 1 over here, and then if you have the arms card in your hand, let's say you have the shield, so you can actually discard it, and after that you can ride into the Grade 1 over here, which is Namor. Thereby, using his ability, I can actually Soul Blast 1. So I Soul Blast the base over here. Then I search my deck for the sword or the shield. I realize I actually have it in my hand here, so I'll add the sword to my hand and just kind of add it to go from there. Then on the next turn, let's say I discard another card for the hand from there, then I actually can ride up to Halibadra. So Halibadra's skill, by placing it on the Vanguard circle, by riding from the normal card, the Grade 1, I can actually choose the arms card, which I just discarded, either in this following turn or the turn afterwards. I can actually just add this from the drop zone and add it to my hand. Then we go to the Grade 3 basically by discarding one card from the hand, and then we actually go into Bhavsagara. Now we can't do anything with Bhavsagara because there's no on-ride skill. However, because you have the arms cards in your hand, specifically either the sword or the shield, which one you have decide to fetch out from the deck, and you can actually play it as an order card. So by paying Counterblast 1 for the left, Deity Arms for the shield, then after that I can actually just equip it straight, so it goes straight to Bhavsagara here on the center. Then because Bhavsagara's skill activates, because it was armed, so I can actually just soul charge 1, and I can actually choose a Grade 1 or less card from the soul. In this case, I can actually choose maybe the Grade 1 that I called down and just put it behind. Now Bhavsagara cannot do anything, and you can't play a second order in the same turn unless there's a specific unit that says that you can. But in this case, since I have the shield equipped, so during my opponent's turn, whenever he's attacking with any of his units, I can choose when to activate the plus 10k from the shield. When the armed unit is being attacked, I can have it plus 10k thanks to the shield, and it can be activated at any point in time. It's just once per turn, but it can be at any point in the attacks that the opponent has if you need the plus 10k shield to block off the attack. When you pass it to the next turn, then you can actually equip the other arms. Again, you can soul charge 1. Then for the sake of demonstration, we actually just call out Arsidhiaf over here so that we can actually call it to the rearguard side. Now this is going to take up a lot of space on your table, so make sure you have ample space for Bhavsagara when you play her deck. Now because Bhavsagara is now armed with 2 deity cards, you can activate the second part of the skill, which is actually Soul Blast 2. And after that, she just gets plus 1 critical, and also retiring all of your opponent's front row rearguards as well. Now, what happens when you Persona Ride onto Bhavsagara? Well, when you Persona Ride to Bhavsagara, well, you get a plus 1 draw obviously and the plus 10k. Then what happens is that the arms actually stay on because your Vanguard is still Bhavsagara. So the conditions for the left and right deity arms continue to stay. However, if you do end up changing your Vanguard to say something like this, the deity arms immediately fades away because the Vanguard is no longer Bhavsagara, and so you don't get the deity arms on another unit that way. So generally speaking, just how could you actually mod up this deck with the current cards that's actually in play? Well, we generally want to wait for DBT04 to come out just so that we can get the new actual parts for Bhavsagara. At the moment, as we look through the pool of cards that we have available from DBT01 to DBT03, there are some few options that we can actually consider putting in. Some people have already considered putting in the Virina overdressed cards inside, which gives them more incentive to actually be able to play cards like Urga, Arx, Valiente even as well. These are actually just kind of good choices that you can actually go with in order to make the Bhavsagara deck just a little bit more better. But of course, the focus of the Bhavsagara deck has always been between the order cards over here. So there's not much in here that you probably want to take out because a lot of the other cards in here supports the fact that you have the order cards or fetching of the order cards or do something when you play an order card this turn. Cards like Ursala can actually help you fetch any arms cards that you put into the drop zone. And cards like Shirunga can actually put those arm cards in the drop zone just so that you can actually get additional draw for better defenses or if you're looking for a specific thing from your deck. But of course, if you do just stick with the Bhavsagara right line and get rid of the extra boosters from there, some good choice cards that you can actually put in the deck would include Stealth Dragon Togachirashi, which allows you to actually put him into the soul if you discarded it from your hand during the turn. Fetcher Set will continue to be popular as well because of his added ability to be able to search your deck for a copy of Bhavsagara and put it to your hand so you can get a Persona right. You can also go with the Blaze Maidens as well, although they are kind of specific towards the powering up of either Overdressed unit or Grade 0 unit, so unless you're actually playing Trickstar in the deck, this might be a bit difficult to actually put into use. And that's pretty much just a good start on how you can approach playing the Bhavsagara deck in Vanguard Overdress. How the deck?